The secret was never in the steps. It was in the state of being. For decades, millions of people tried to follow the steps taught by Napoleon Hill. Define a burning desire, repeat affirmations, maintain faith. Yet many still failed to manifest what they wanted. The reason? They were focused on doing, not on being. Hill never spoke only about actions. He spoke of an invisible, deep, and forgotten principle that goes beyond logic and technique. A principle that reconnects you with your true nature, rich, powerful, and unlimited. This principle wasn't lost by chance. It was buried by the very limitations of the conscious mind, by fear, hurry, and despair. Today, you will remember, and when that happens, your world will never be the same. Because the wealth you seek already exists inside you. You just forgot where to look. Since the dawn of human history, great spiritual masters and thinkers of the mind have always pointed to the same truth. The outer universe is a mirror of the inner universe. Napoleon Hill understood this, but couldn't openly say it. In his time, speaking about energy, vibration, and consciousness was rejected. So he encoded it all. He hid the secret behind words like burning desire and unshakable faith. But read carefully. In Think and Grow Rich, he says, the subconscious mind immediately acts upon any order given to it in a spirit of faith and emotion. What does this really mean? It means your subconscious mind already knows how to be rich. It was designed to create, manifest, and expand. The problem is that the conscious mind, programmed by beliefs of scarcity, took control and forgot who you really are. The good news? You can remember. Think for a moment. When you were a child, you didn't worry about money, bills, or limitations. You imagined freely. You created worlds in your mind. You believed everything was possible. That was your original programming. That was the language of your subconscious before fear was installed. Napoleon Hill said imagination is the laboratory of the mind. It wasn't a metaphor. It was a formula. Imagination is the bridge between the invisible and the visible. Through it, you activate the lost principle, the state of being. When you are something, the world adjusts to reflect that. But when you try to have something before being it, you enter resistance, vibrational contradiction. This is the silent error that sabotages millions of manifestors. They make affirmations, visualize, act, but still feel scarce. They keep identifying as poor, trying to become rich, instead of rich in the process of remembering who they are. The key is to change the inner state, and that is not done by effort. It's done through surrender. Napoleon Hill wasn't teaching you to chase wealth, but to align with it. When he said, whatever the mind of man can conceive and believe, it can achieve, he was describing a universal law. Your reality is shaped not by what you desire, but by what you believe you are. And where is that belief? In the subconscious. No matter how many steps you follow, if deep down you still feel small, unworthy, or incapable, your reality will continue reflecting that. But when you change your inner identity, everything changes. You don't attract wealth, you release it, because it has always been inside you. Have you ever wondered why so many people follow the same methods but get such different results? Some prosper quickly, others never get anywhere. The difference isn't in effort, it's in the state of consciousness. Those who feel rich act, speak, and think like the rich, even before the money appears, and the universe responds. Because vibration precedes manifestation. Napoleon Hill said, faith is the state of mind which may be induced or created by affirmation. What did he mean? That you can install a new state of being through emotional repetition, through energetic conviction. But this requires more than words. It requires presence. It requires inhabiting the feeling. It requires deciding with every cell in your body that you are prosperous now, not tomorrow, now. Imagine for a moment you lost your memory. You forgot you were born heir to an invisible fortune. You live as if you were poor. You work hard. You struggle. You survive. Until one day, someone hands you a letter. You are the rightful owner of an immeasurable fortune. It has always been in your name. It was just forgotten. How would you feel? How would this change your posture, your voice, your confidence? This is what is happening now. This letter is this video. And this fortune is your subconscious, filled with ideas, creative power, pure abundance. Hill knew this, but you need to activate the memory. You need to speak to your subconscious as if you were speaking to a sleeping king. With respect, with reverence, with authority, because it will obey. Always. But only if you speak its language, the language of being. Most people try to convince the subconscious using logic, but it doesn't understand logic. It understands images, emotions, symbols. It understands vibrational certainty. That's why Napoleon Hill insisted so much on emotional repetition, because that's how you reprogram the system. Not with force, with consistency and feeling. And the most powerful feeling there is I already am. When you enter the state of I am prosperous, your field changes. Your posture changes. Your voice changes. And the universe responds. Because it doesn't respond to your request. It responds to your vibration. It responds to your state of being. This is the lost principle. Not doing to have, but being, and letting having come as an inevitable reflection. Just as the shadow follows the body, wealth follows the vibrational identity. And what if I told you effort, by itself, is often a hidden enemy? Because effort is born from the belief that something is missing, and lack is the vibration of scarcity. When you act driven by the fear of not making it, you are telling the universe, I don't have. And it confirms that. Napoleon Hill knew this. He said true faith is active but serene. It's a kind of quiet certainty. It's the same kind of faith you have that the sun will rise tomorrow. You don't need to hope. You just know. And it is in this knowing that the power lies. Knowing you already are. Knowing everything that is yours will find you. Knowing the physical reality is only a mirror of what you hold inside. This is the real secret. Now, stop and look around. Everything you see is the result of past thoughts, of old vibrations. None of it is definitive. Your bank account is not the truth. It is a temporary reflection of the state you held yesterday. And if you change your state today, the reflection changes tomorrow. Hill said, think, believe, and you will receive. But this is not about superficial thinking. It's about diving into being, believing not with the mind, but with the body, with the emotion, with the vibration. It's about behaving like someone who already has, even if the world says otherwise. Because the world will bend to your state of being. Always. Invariably. The time has come for you to stop chasing wealth. The time has come for you to stop and remember. Wealth isn't something you earn. It's something you express. It's born from within. It springs from your state of certainty, presence, alignment with who you already are. The universe doesn't understand desperate pleas. It understands coherent vibrations. It understands when you decide you already are and act with that conviction. This is the greatest gift Napoleon Hill left us. It wasn't the steps. It was the state. And when you activate this state, something changes. Not just in your bank account, but in your posture, your gaze, your life. Because you remember you were never trying to get rich. You were just returning to your original state. The state of being that is already abundant. Always was. And now, you finally remember. When you change your state of being, you're not just accessing a new mindset. You're unlocking invisible gates that have been holding abundance back. And the most powerful part? It doesn't require physical effort, only an inner decision. Decide now that you already are, that you already have, that your subconscious mind is a fertile field ready to bloom with infinite riches. Napoleon Hill gave you the keys, and today, you reclaim the memory. The true secret was never about chasing something. It was about becoming the one who already lives it, because everything real begins in the invisible, and everything invisible responds to your vibrational state. Faith, desire, imagination are activation codes. Use them consciously. Use them like someone who knows they were born ready to live in fullness. You're no longer starting. You are awakening. You are remembering what was forgotten for so long, the lost principle of inner wealth. And now, you walk not as one who seeks, but as one who already possesses. Everything changes when you change. Everything responds when you align. And everything arrives when you allow yourself to be. So take a deep breath, feel the truth vibrate within you, and silently declare, "I already am." It's this state that rebuilds your reality. It's this state that transforms time into manifestation. And if this message has awakened something in you, share it with those who also need to remember. Activate the bell. Follow our channel to keep receiving content that reprograms your mind for true abundance, and spread this truth. Because the more people awaken, the more the entire world transforms. You already are, and the world is ready to reflect it. If this message has awakened your soul, don't keep it just to yourself. Share it with those who need to remember that they are already rich inside. And of course, subscribe and hit the bell, because true abundance begins when you change what you feel.